What y'all doing?
I don't.
What the? Go, 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 go! What the? Go, go!
In my whole life, I've never seen this. This is a shadow.
Two friends were driving along a tight forest road late at night. They knew there were rumors about an old gated area nearby, but the place felt far darker and more remote than they expected. Suddenly, they spotted a figure sitting in the middle of the road.
What? What? That? What? That? What? Dude, are you seeing that?
Yeah, bro. What?
I'm out, dude. Oh my god.
Is it?
Oh
Wait, no,
my-
yo, he might need help. That looks like a guy.
Think it's a person?
Yeah. He looks. He looks.
All right.
Hey, are you okay?
You all right?
Should I get out?
No, don't get out. You insane?
He might need help.
Dude,
They eased off the gas, assuming it could be someone in trouble. Then things suddenly took a disturbing turn.
Hey, are you okay?
You all right? I don't know. I'm backing up a little bit.
I don't.
What the? Go, 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 go! What the?
Was it some kind of setup, a sick prank, or did they come across something they were never supposed to see that night? One night, while staying alone in a cabin deep in the Appalachian Mountains, this man experienced something unbelievable.
Yo. What's up? What y'all doing?
Outside his cabin window, a whole pack of wolves stood in the snow, howling into the night. A lot of people think the wolves sounded scared, like they were reacting to something else nearby. Luckily, nothing ever came out of the darkness, and the night passed without anything happening. Still, it leaves one big question. What could be hiding out there in the Appalachian Mountains? A woman was driving down an empty highway late at night with her dash cam running. The road seemed clear until something suddenly happened.
Там мужик на дороге стоял.
A figure suddenly showed up right in front of her car. She managed to avoid hitting it and kept driving until she was safe. Later, when she watched the footage, the figure still didn't make any sense. She posted the video online, and that's when others said they'd experienced strange things on the same highway too. A group of friends was on a van camping trip in a quiet, remote area when something strange happened. Take a look.
It's not like flying
No.
straight. It's
Yeah.
like moving.
No, that's a UFO for sure.
Yo, it's like that thing they showed on
Oh,
Rogan.
whoa. What is that?
It's like that Tic Tac from Rogan, bro.
A strange object showed up in the night sky, with lights forming a perfect triangle. It just hovered there silently. No movement, no engine noise, nothing. The campers immediately thought it might be a UFO and shared the video online, hoping someone could explain what they were seeing. Any ideas what it could be? When this video popped up online, a lot of viewers started wondering what kind of sea monster it might be. A Reddit user explained that it wasn't a sea monster at all. It was just kelp. Specifically, Durvalea antarctica is a tough, buoyant kelp that floats thanks to its honeycomb-like structure. It often piles up along rocky coastlines in long, heavy strands, which can look pretty creepy at first. In some places, people even collect it to eat. So, yeah, mystery solved. This video was captured by a group of skydivers pulling off stunts as part of a larger team. The exact location, date, and even the original person who recorded it aren't known, and the clip later spread across several social media platforms. From what we can see, the skydivers had their parachutes open and were flying in a well-coordinated formation. It looks calm and visually impressive at first, but that peaceful moment can quickly turn into pure terror because of a single person's mistake. During the descent, one skydiver with a white parachute crashes into another, throwing the whole formation into chaos. Their parachutes get tangled, and the scariest moment comes when one skydiver slips out of his harness and starts falling. Thankfully, it was later confirmed that he had a backup parachute, which likely prevented a tragedy. Seeing something like that is absolutely terrifying. A truck driver pulled over on a quiet road in Finland. As soon as he stepped out of the cab, a strange cry rang out from the frozen forest nearby. It didn't sound like any animal he recognized, so he decided to start recording. The road was empty, and there was no sign of anyone or anything around. Even now, no one really knows what he heard. It was a strange and unsettling moment involving a very young boy who reacted strongly when a cross was put in his room. He screamed and begged for it to be taken away, which was worrying given how young he was. Since kids often mimic things they've seen in movies or media, it's hard to tell if he was just copying something or if it meant more than that. The question is whether it was an innocent reaction or something more unsettling. Most people hope there's a simple explanation, but the idea of something darker still hangs in the air. On February 14, 2024, in Barnaul, a city in the Altai region of Russia, near the borders of Kazakhstan and Mongolia, things took a turn. This area is known for its brutally cold weather and heavy snowfall. Over time, snow can accumulate on buildings and infrastructure, and if it isn't properly maintained, it can begin to cause significant damage. Unfortunately, that kind of neglect can lead to shocking situations like the one this poor woman was just about to experience. Just moments after the woman got into her car, part of the building's roof gave way. In Russia, it's not uncommon for buildings to have billboards installed on their rooftops, which could explain what happened here. Somehow, she walked away completely unharmed, even though the situation looked incredibly dangerous and easily could have ended much worse. This woman was hiking through snowy mountains when she saw something unbelievable. A single skier was coming down from the very top, smoothly making his way toward the bottom. Then, all of a sudden, everything took a shocking turn. The moment was absolutely terrifying. One small mistake could have easily been deadly. Luckily, it was later confirmed that the skier made it out safely. Taking on a run like that takes great skill, experience, and total control, something only very well-trained skiers would even try. One winter day, a new mom was at home playing with her toddler and casually filming a short video. Out of nowhere, the front door swung open. She assumed it was her husband and didn't think much of it. No one else was supposed to be coming over, but the figure that walked in wasn't him. A dark shape moved through the doorway, and it quickly became clear it wasn't a person at all. It was a bear. She reacted fast, grabbed her child, and ducked into another room. Luckily, after a brief moment, the bear wandered back out on its own. This TikTok user was walking through the Appalachian Mountains when he suddenly heard something unsettling, so he pulled out his phone and started recording.
Mike.
screams kept echoing through the woods, sounding like people in trouble. But the camera didn't catch anyone. No movement, no figures, nothing at all. The sounds seemed to come from every direction at once. Even now, no one knows where the screams came from. The Appalachian Mountains are incredibly old, with a history going back hundreds of millions of years, and over time, many stories and legends have come from these forests. Some even warn hikers not to respond to voices calling from the trees. Still, others aren't convinced and believe the audio could have been edited or staged for effect. A hiker went to the Devil's Tree in Port St. Lucie and came across something disturbing.
There are a bunch of pictures out here with people's names on them. Kevin, Erica Canty. I'm in the Devil's Tree forest, whatever it is. I don't even. This is really weird.
Photos of random people were scattered around the tree. Some were torn up, others looked lightly burned, and everyone had a name written on it. It immediately raised some creepy questions. Who left them there, and why? Was it part of some ritual, or something even darker? A group of friends was out fishing in the open ocean, enjoying a calm day on the water, when something completely unexpected happened, leaving everyone shouting in shock.
Shark just jumped into the boat! Okay, watch out. Holy crap! Jumped out of the freaking water into the boat! Oh my god. You just smoked me in the head. Are you okay, bro? Holy crap! He jumped right over me! He jumped over you, bro! Oh my god! Bro! Was this what you were fighting the whole time? Yeah, it had to be. No way. No, I just got it and it jumped out of the water. Bro, you ate my fish and then it ate your fish and then jumped into the freaking boat. Okay, I'm not touching that thing. No, dude, we're done. We're done. Did you lose the rod? Look at your fish? Dude, it knocked the trolling motor back into the water. Your rod is gone? Two rods are gone. Two rods are gone? Dude. Jesus Christ. Only Ryan's rods. That was the scariest thing ever. Shush. No idea what my POV was. You have no idea what my POV view. It went over your head. I'm dying. It went to my head. It went over my head. You jumped just in time. And then it smacked. Oh, I saw it jump. I was like, dude. And then anyway, it was spinning. It went in the boat, and then.
Without warning, a large shark suddenly burst out of the water, crashing onto the deck in a spray of waves. The moment was pure chaos, shouting, splashing, total disbelief. Somehow, despite how terrifying it was, everyone made it out unharmed. It was a dark, silent night when the quiet was suddenly broken by the most chilling screams imaginable. They didn't sound human, but they weren't something anyone would want to hear outside a window either. The storyteller says it was the scariest sound ever, instant chills and goosebumps. Some people brushed it off as coyotes, but it didn't feel like a normal animal noise. It made the stomach drop. Instead of staying inside, the storyteller opened the door, figuring the sound was far away and would have changed if it was getting closer. Coyotes usually aren't much of a threat, but when a pack starts screaming together, it feels unsettling. Nothing happened in the end, but that eerie sound was impossible to forget. A man working night shifts at Bodega Herrera kept telling his boss about strange things happening, but no one took him seriously. Even when he asked his boss to check the security footage, it was ignored. So one night, near the end of his shift, the disturbances started again. This time, he decided to record it himself to have proof. Here's what he caught. after that, he finally took his long overdue leave and said he wouldn't come back until something was done. The response wasn't reassuring. Some co-workers whispered that maybe the store wasn't haunted at all, and that whatever was happening was attached to him. But a week after he left, another night worker reported the same experience, proving he wasn't the problem. What's been haunting the store, though, is still unknown. On February 16, 2014, while hiking near Lake Colico in Chile, a woman named Carolina Lopez Painman captured something strange on camera.
Kiss.
She was just filming the calm, empty lake when something strange showed up. 4 rounded humps slowly rose above the water and moved across the surface. Carolina had no idea what she was looking at, and once the video was shared online, people started searching for answers. Even then, no one could agree on what the object or creature actually was. To this day, the sighting is still a mystery. A camper was walking through the woods when he suddenly felt like he was being followed. He grabbed his camera, started recording, and tried to get out of there as fast as he could. Every time he stopped and looked back, he said he could see a figure standing in the fog, watching him. Once he finally reached his van, he drove off immediately. People online still debate whether it was a stalker or something like Bigfoot. A powerful storm rolled through, dumping a thick, heavy blanket of snow over everything. Within 24 hours, the neighborhood was buried so deep in snow that residents were completely trapped inside their homes. That much snowfall is seriously dangerous. Emergency crews can't get through, doors get blocked, roofs can start to give under the weight, and anyone caught outside could freeze in minutes. At first glance, it looks like the mountain itself is on fire. This is the famous Yosemite Firefall. It happens every year from mid to late February when the sunset hits Horsetail Fall at just the right angle. The light makes the water glow orange and red, making it look like molten lava flowing down the rock. The bright colors stand out against the dark, rugged mountain, creating a stunning sight. The firefall only lasts for a short time and doesn't happen every day, which makes it even more special. It's a powerful reminder of how beautiful and intense nature can be, and seeing it in person is unforgettable. A woman was hiking in the mountains when she noticed a plane's exhaust trail across the sky above her, but then it suddenly just stopped.
In my whole life, I've never seen this. This is a shadow on the mountain from the exhaust from that plane. That's insane. Oh yeah, I've never seen that before. Is it a sign?
Right where the trail stopped, a long, dark shadow appeared and stretched across the mountains. It was straight, sharp, and clearly defined, almost like a line drawn across the landscape. People started wondering how a plane's exhaust could create something that precise, and why the trail ended so suddenly. Some think it's just an optical illusion caused by the angle of the sun, while others aren't convinced. So what are we really seeing here? It was an unexpected discovery. A curious person came across what could only be described as a real-life bat cave. For reasons only she knows, the girl decided to open a sewer, and what she saw made her scream. Bats were hanging all over the walls, turning the underground space into an unexpected hiding place. Either way, it's a sight she likely won't forget anytime soon. Someone driving during a snowstorm came across something really unsettling and started recording. A person was standing completely still in a strange, unnatural pose. It felt random, eerie, and totally out of place. No one else was outside in that storm, yet this person was just there. Something about the whole scene didn't feel right at all. The video is from Dano Outdoors, a Canadian YouTube channel all about stealth camping, bushcraft, and keeping things simple outdoors. Dano usually camps in low-key or unexpected spots like beaches, parks, and forests, and shows off lightweight gear, simple camp cooking, plus cool time lapses of storms and sunsets. This one takes place on September 24th, 2025 at a public beach in Canada.
We're in there looking south, see? Just got to set up the tent and everything like I have in I haven't actually set. I gotta blow up my air mattress and everything, but tucked everything away. I don't think it's gonna rain. Hopefully, maybe it will tonight. That'd be nice. I mean, again, we got clouds. I'm sure you saw clouds moving by. Not a whole lot going on as far as rain. But, I mean, as far as camping, it's been pretty quiet. Not gonna lie, I got my camp shoes on. Feels amazing. And, yeah. A beautiful beach, eh? Just saying. Oh, that's what I was gonna say, actually, before I forget. What's gonna be really cool is we're gonna see all the lights of the cities along the lake there. And the reason why I think that's really cool is because it's all over there. It's all that way. Anyways. Yep. Alright. Oh, we got a pretty dark cloud coming in. I'm not sure if that'll rain though. I guess we'll see. We might get a drizzle. Be careful, there's people over there. I was gonna say I had to get away from the camp because the gnats are getting like crazy. They're almost like fruit flies. Oh, yeah, there's one right here. They're almost like fruit flies. They're getting intense, but they're no different out here. I guess it's just a beach gnat fruit fly. Anyways, I'm gonna duck back in because there's people over here walking down the beach down yonder. Luckily we're covered by that tree though. And we're gone.
Dano slipped into the bushes by the shoreline, set up a low tarp shelter, and filmed storm clouds rolling in over the lake. For hours, it stayed calm, with just the waves and the occasional person passing by on the trail. He made some curry rice and kicked back, feeling sure his camp was tucked out of sight.
See me? And hear me? As you can tell, it is dark. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I got busted. 100% busted. That's not even really the kind of funny thing, or I guess frustrating thing. It's that it's late right now, and it happened like the sun was up. So a couple walked down to the rocks and sat there for a while. Let's put it that way, a while. I kind of just went into time-lapse mode. Luckily, I was able to see this giant cloud that was coming in, and so I decided to time-lapse, get a time-lapse of that cloud. And then the weather changed drastically, and there was lightning, and it was beautiful, to be honest, because it was all on the other side of the lake. Not a single raindrop here, but there was a lot of sitting around. There was a lot of...
While he was filming a time-lapse, a couple wandered out onto the rocks right next to his setup. Dano stayed totally still as they hung around, hoping they wouldn't notice him. Eventually, they did, and as he put it, he was completely busted. The stealth camp was officially blown.
Just in the nick of time. Breeze just picked, whoa. Yeah, we might pick up the tarp. Oh, jeez. I'm telling you, we're putting twine to the test tonight, boyo. Wind just picked up big time. So we might still have weather coming yet. But I am sitting in my setup because I got a feeling it's gonna start raining. We should be all right. We'll see, I guess. I got my sleep setup done right in time. Wow. It's, we'll see. Yeah, I gotta hold the tarp so it doesn't, wow. Well, let's see what happens. Wow. It really picked up. The water picked up. sky is looking just wild. Hopefully that comes out. Wow, nice.
Later that night, the weather took a sharp turn. Strong winds ripped across the open beach, and Dano had to hang on to the tarp as lightning flashed over the water.
We are, as I guess Steve would say, hunkered down. Shout out Steve, the godfather of stealth camping. Anyways, weather's looking pretty iffy, but we got a nice view. I'm just hoping this tarp doesn't get...
Heavy rain came down hard, drumming on the thin shelter while he lay inside. Even though his cover was blown, no one made him move. By morning, the storm had cleared and the sky was calm again. He later said it was one of the best nights of sleep he'd ever had outdoors. He packed up quietly and left no trace behind. In late autumn of 2022, Josh, who was traveling alone in his van, spent the final day of his trip in Minnesota. He found a quiet campsite along Lake Superior, far from any town and with no cell service. The area was empty. As night fell, he lit a fire and cooked some burgers. The temperature dropped, the forest went silent, and then something strange happened.
You guys hear that? Okay, my camera battery just died. I have no idea what that was. It's gotta be deer, right? What would be walking through a lake? Is that a bird? Huh. Well, I think I'm gonna pack up and get inside the van. Okay, y'all, so I'm in the van. I literally have no idea what was out in the water. It sounded like it had legs and it was walking through the water. Yeah, it can have fun out there.
Josh didn't get any sleep that night. As soon as the sun came up, he packed his things and left, and he never went back. The passengers were waiting to get on a train at a station in St. Louis when the conductor suddenly made a strange announcement.
Well, the train is past that train. I do not know if we're going to make it or when we're going to make it. So know when you get on, these are your choice.
They just said that the train that left from here at 8 o'clock this morning, crazy, the train that left St. Louis at 8 a.m. didn't make it to Chicago, they said?
So they just said try again on another day. These are your choices. I'm not telling you not to take the train. I'm just giving you the information now so you're not on the train saying, why didn't anybody tell me?
The train that left before, are y'all going to Chicago? Yeah. Okay, so the one at 8 a.m. went to Chicago and never made it to Chicago. They think it is stuck on somewhere on between here and there. So he said if you get on the train, you may not make it to Chicago tonight.
He told passengers that an earlier train from St. Louis to Chicago never made it to its destination and warned that while the current train would still leave, there was no guarantee it would reach Chicago either. The platform went quiet as everyone tried to wrap their heads around that. Online, the announcement sparked all kinds of wild theories, but the real explanation was pretty simple. A section of track had been disabled that morning, forcing the earlier train to stop short. What sounded mysterious was really just a routine rail problem. This man was staying at his grandfather's place in Paphos, Cyprus, in a quiet mountain area with hardly anyone around. Late one night, around 1:30 a.m., he started hearing strange noises coming from above. The sound went on for about 5 to 10 minutes and echoed through the otherwise quiet area. There was no clear source, and at the time, it felt strange and unsettling. After the video was shared online, some people came up with unusual ideas, including theories about sky trumpets, but others quickly recognized the sound for what it likely was. Several viewers familiar with Islamic and Middle Eastern culture said it sounded like the Adhan, the Islamic call to prayer. One winter night, a woman named Alexis started hearing noises coming from an upstairs room that was supposed to be empty. She went to check it out but didn't find anything unusual, though the uneasy feeling wouldn't go away. Before heading back downstairs, she set up a camera to record the room. Later, while watching the footage, she noticed something terrifying. After brightening the dark parts of the video, a tall, shadowy figure slowly appeared in the closet doorway. A hand and part of a head leaned out, then slipped back into the darkness and vanished. Whatever was in that room clearly wasn't supposed to be there. Someone was walking through the woods in Mexico when they came across something totally unexpected. Hidden in the landscape was a large structure made to blend in with the surroundings. From the outside, it looked like a small hill or mountain, but inside it was hollow. The inside was held up by thick wooden beams and filled with neatly stacked wooden blocks. Later, the man shared what he'd been told about it, that it might have been a communications center built in 1978 and discovered years later, possibly connected to a secret cult. However, there's no real proof to back that up. There are no official records explaining who built it, what it was used for, or who was involved. What is clear is that the structure was meant to stay hidden, and its real purpose has never been explained. Late one night, a woman stepped outside to let her dog out. As soon as they reached the stairs, the dog suddenly froze, staring into the dark woods. After a moment, he finally went down the steps, but the second he was out of sight, something felt wrong. When she called his name, there was no response. Growing concerned, she walked down the stairs to look for him, and that's when she heard a faint cry coming from the trees. The strange part was that the yard around her was empty.
Come on. Rocky, where'd you go? Rocky? Come on, dude. Rocky? The hell? Is it a cat? Rocky? What are you doing up there? I thought you were down here. Rocky. Silly goose.
She turned back toward the house and saw her dog already standing in the doorway. Back inside, the video blew up because there was no other path or staircase visible. No clear way for the dog to get back in so fast. That led people to wonder how he returned so quickly and whether the animal she followed outside was really her dog in the first place. On December 13th, 2025, Matthew Aldridge, a 26-year-old from Bend, Oregon, went to climb Mount Hood with two friends. They started from the Mount Hood Meadows area. When the weather got bad fast, his friends decided to turn back, but Matthew kept going alone. When no one heard from him, he was reported missing around 11:30 that morning. Search teams started right away, using helicopters, ground crews, and phone location data. His phone signal pointed to an area near Pravel Ridge, above 8,400 feet, where it seemed like he might have fallen. Even with heavy snow, strong winds, and poor visibility, teams reached the area but didn't find him. The search had to be stopped several times because it was too dangerous. On December 14th, officials said the search would switch from rescue to recovery because the conditions were too risky. So far, no sign of Matthew has been found. Mount Hood is known for sudden weather changes and dangerous winter conditions, which have made searches there difficult before. As of now, there are no updates, and his disappearance is still unexplained. A man was walking through the hills outside Medellin, Colombia, when he noticed something strange in the sky. The video shows an object slowly drifting overhead. It looks triangular and rotates smoothly, like it's moving on purpose. It seems too big and too high up to be a normal drone, and it doesn't move like a plane or a helicopter either. With no more footage and no official explanation, whatever it was is still a mystery. A group of hikers was walking through a quiet stretch of desert in Arizona's Sonoran National Monument when they came across something strange. A large rock had a metal lock built into its side, as if it were sealing off something hidden underground. They recorded it and posted the video online, and people immediately started speculating about what it could be. So, what do you think might be behind it? The video is from Eek Acres, a US-based YouTube channel about outdoor living, camping, hiking, and survival. The creator mixes van life and homesteading with personal stories, thoughts on health and mindset, and sometimes some eerie or spiritual moments. This one takes place on August 16, 2021, when he parks his van at Pineapple Junction campsite before later heading to South Valley State Forest, an area known for long-running Bigfoot sightings.
Guys, I'm looking out the window again, and I got the panel out, and I am not kidding you guys. There are some weird lights going through the woods. They're orange and yellow. And those people left. They left. And these lights are freaking weird, you guys. Very weird. I'm aiming my freaking camera right at them, and I do not know if this is picking it up because I've got my sock over the screen because I don't want whatever these lights are to freaking see my face being illuminated by the back of my camera. But these lights are dancing all over the place. They're going up high, down low. They're through the woods, and then they're turning around and coming back. What in the hell? There's a really big moon coming up over the mountain. Now the lights just went out. They just went out. It's not my eyesight playing games on me, you guys. I'm hoping to God the camera is picking this up, but I doubt it because it's several campsites away. It's that campsite, that same campsite where those people took off in the middle of the night. I don't know if you guys probably can't even see this because I would have to have like an infrared camera to see in the dark. If these lights come over here, I'm getting the hell out of here. There it goes. It's going up through the trees and around, and it circles around and then comes back down, and then it floats, and then it goes like a heartbeat. You know, up and down, up and down, up and down. It's dancing all through the woods, and now it's going up really high. Now it just turned blue.
While camping at Pineapple Junction, he noticed the people nearby sweeping the tree line with powerful flashlights, as if they thought something was moving out there. Not long after, they packed up and took off in a hurry, even leaving some of their stuff behind. That definitely rattled him, so he decided to move on to South Valley State Forest, hoping things would be quieter there. He also mentions the van's windows had limo tint on them, which helped keep everything inside hidden.
Limo tint on them. Uh-oh. Holy guys, I think something just walked past my van. I just saw something walk past my van. I don't know, you guys. I think I might be getting the hell out of here. I think I'm getting out of here, you guys. I don't even have my freaking shoes on. I'm driving in my socks. The van was attacked. I thought I was dreaming. I fell asleep. I was sound asleep, and then something woke me up. It was loud as hell. And then I was laying there a second. I'm like, what the hell just happened? And then it happened again. I swear on my life, this is not a joke. Oh my God, you guys, I am shaking like you would not believe. It is 12:15 a.m. So I fell asleep for about an hour and the van was attacked. I can't even believe what happened. I can't believe.
Around midnight, a sudden burst of heavy knocking slammed against the back of the van. It was loud and aggressive enough to jolt him awake instantly.
I'm not trying to be funny. I was sound asleep. It scared the out of me. It was so freaking loud. It sounded like they were trying to get in the van. It sounded just like they were trying. You guys, they were right at the back of the van. Right at the back. I am not kidding you. I am serious. I swear to God. serious. They were right at the back of the van trying to get in. I had never been startled awake so fast in all my life. That scared the hell out of me. My heart is just pounding. Anyway, you guys, I need to calm down. I need to get home. I need to get home. That's it. I'm going home. I'm not staying anywhere else. They were literally at my van. You guys, it was Bigfoot. I'm not you. It was, I don't even believe in a Bigfoot, you guys, but it happened. It happened. I believe in him now. I definitely believe in him.
Terrified, he scrambles into the driver's seat, fires up the engine, and takes off into the darkness as fast as he can. Even while driving, the fear doesn't let up. He can't shake the feeling that something might still be close by, or even on top of the van. Later, still shaken and gasping for air, he calls it the scariest outdoor experience of his life. He admits he panicked, left some of his stuff behind, and swore he'd never come back to that area again, not even during the day. Someone was walking along a forest trail near an old abandoned castle when they caught something strange on camera. Ahead of them stood a dark, see-through figure that looked human, dressed all in dark clothes and completely still. The person didn't notice it at the time and couldn't explain it later. They only found out afterward that the castle was said to be haunted, which made them wonder if what they captured was something paranormal. A Reddit user said their uncle was on a cruise ship when it passed near where the Titanic sank. Around 1 a.m., he went outside and took a photo. Later, when he sent it to his family to show how close they were to the Titanic site, he noticed dark shapes in the fog on the left side of the picture. The shapes looked like people standing there. Most people think the ship's lights may have caused shadows to appear in the fog, but the uncle said no one was on the deck at that time, which makes sense that late at night. There's no real proof of anything supernatural, but because of where it was taken, the photo still feels creepy. After a fresh snowfall, a woman noticed something unsettling.
Please explain what this is in my backyard. What is this? What the are these from?
She saw a line of perfectly round marks pressed into the untouched snow. Every print was the same size, forming a chain of overlapping circles. Farther along, the spacing between them widened, and the trail started to spread out. The marks didn't look like anything from normal backyard animals. What made it even stranger was that no footprints led to or away from the trail. Even now, no one's sure what caused it. Any idea what could have left those marks? Chris Sylvia set out on a solo hike along the Pacific Crest Trail in Southern California on February 12, 2015. He wanted some time alone and planned to head south. 4 days later, he called a close friend and asked to be picked up at a Buddhist temple a few miles off the trail. The friend showed up, but Chris never did. Not long after, hikers found his backpack, sleeping bag, sleeping pad, and ID neatly laid out near mile 127, close to a dirt road that led toward the meeting spot. Everything was there except Chris. Search teams spent 2 weeks looking for him on foot and by air, but he was never found. It was as if he vanished without a trace. What makes it even stranger is that all his gear was left behind with no signs of a struggle or an accident. A group of teenagers was hanging out at a local park late one night when they spotted a strange figure moving around. Something about it didn't look right, so they started recording. They also remembered that a man had been found dead in the same park under mysterious circumstances, with officials saying there were no clear signs of foul play. Some nearby residents had mentioned feeling a strange presence there for a while, and now many people think the figure could be connected to that unexplained death. The teens left feeling sure that whatever they saw was definitely bad news. The video comes from Endless RVing, a US-based YouTube channel run by Jason and MJ. They travel around in their motorhome with their 2 dogs, Bowser and Sierra, sharing RV trips, campground reviews, maintenance tips, and the occasional thing going wrong on the road. This takes place on May 7th, 2022, during their first shakedown trip of the year at Mullen Dickerson Reservation. The idea was simple: stay close to home, test the RV systems, and ease into the new travel season with a quiet trip.
What we're doing is he's on the computer, and we're trying to come up with a title for our video that we're actually about to.
They soaked up the warm weather, walked the dogs, and got comfortable at camp. Everything felt calm and ideal, right up until something strange started happening around their RV.
I almost feel like the movie The Birds, except it's, oh my God,
Yeah, this thing is
There's definitely something off with something wrong. And it's just, this is like a continuous pattern. You just keep doing this. Endless RVing versus bird. Now, I'm a huge animal lover, but this bird has just waged war on Nellie.
Yeah, I don't know why it keeps banging into our RV, and then I go outside and it runs away, and it looks at me.
It gives you the finger, basically.
Basically. It's got probably 500 acres to fly around, but it's choosing our RV for some reason.
Maybe we should let
I don't know why.
Sierra and Bowser out too.
What do we do about this, guys?
So, I'm looking on Google, and I put, why do birds fly into windows?
It's back. Like he knows.
Why? Well, this is what, yeah, I know, he's like circling us. He's like stalking.
A single bird showed up and started circling their motorhome, repeatedly smacking into the windows. At first, Jason and MJ thought it was kind of funny, but as it kept happening, wings flapping, loud thuds against the glass, the vibe shifted and things started to feel unsettling.
And it's just flying in a circle. So I gotta
taunting you.
I gotta flush it out of the area. Look, it's back. It's like a glutton for punishment. Well, it makes sense. Our windows are tinted, they're reflective.
Yeah.
Like, duh.
Yeah, but I don't know why I don't know. Maybe he thinks his attacker is over there, and now he's got a
I'm gonna chase this thing out.
Jason went outside and tried to shoo it off, waving his arms to scare it away. The bird backed off for a moment, but it didn't last. Soon it was back again, diving straight at the windows like it couldn't help itself.
Still doing it.
See, it's always important to have tools. You never know for what.
It's not going to reach down. Well, that might.
Yeah, but I have nowhere to hook this. What a dilemma. I mean, I could put this here.
Well, put it there because he seems to be going in this area over here.
They did some quick research and realized the bird was most likely reacting to its reflection. To fix it, they covered the driver's side window with a towel to block the glare, which worked for a while. Before the trip ended, though, the bird showed up one last time, smacked into the RV, and flew off into the trees. Jason and MJ packed up, feeling unsettled, unsure if it was the same bird or another one caught by the reflection. A scout was out patrolling a remote area late at night when he started hearing strange sounds he didn't recognize. He moved in closer, using his flashlight and camera to check the area. Out of nowhere, a white figure appeared in the bushes and trees, moving in a way that didn't look like any animal he knew. It kept shifting around, like it was trying to stay hidden, before eventually vanishing completely. So, was it an animal, a person, or something else altogether? In 2007, a student studying abroad in Cameroon took a photo near the entrance of a sacred cave using a disposable camera during a class trip led by a professor. The cave, located in a nearby mountain range, is believed by locals to be home to spirits, and visitors were only allowed to go a short distance inside. After returning home and developing the film, the student noticed something strange in the photo, a faint, human-like figure appearing between two local children who both seemed to be looking at the same spot. The photographer, normally skeptical of ghost photos, said this one stood out because they took it themselves, and it came back from the lab unchanged. Whether it was a lighting issue, a camera flaw, or something tied to the cave's legends, the figure has never been explained. A couple checked into an Airbnb and were watching TV when an image of a toilet suddenly appeared on the screen. It wasn't a recording, it was live. Feeling uncomfortable, the woman went to the bathroom to check, and she was shocked to see herself appear on the TV at the same time.
We're flipping through the channels.
What is that? Is that ours?
It hasn't moved. We're too scared to get up.
Is it our toilet?
I'm gonna throw up. She's walking into the bathroom now, and we're gonna see if she pops up on the screen. Are you in there? Babe, babe.
You're joking with me, right?
It's coming from there. There's like vents.
It has to be that because it's right above.
They immediately felt uneasy and started to wonder if there were other hidden cameras in the place. They questioned whether someone creepy might be watching them. A couple was warming up at home after a long winter hike and decided to take a selfie. Later, when they looked at the photo, they were scared. Between their heads, a pale face looked like it was staring straight at the camera. At first, they thought it might be a reflection, but it didn't match anything in the room. The couple said they don't have kids and no one else was in the house. They wondered if it could be the spirit of a child. A hiker in a remote area called White Mesa came across a set of huge footprints while out on a hike. Each one was about 20 inches long. They looked similar to human footprints, just way bigger than anything a normal person could make. There's no known person who could match that size. The tracks were clear and easy to see on the ground. Since White Mesa has a history of Bigfoot sightings, people started wondering if the footprints could be connected. This woman was exploring a remote area in the Appalachian region when she suddenly felt like she was being watched. Just moments later, she accidentally caught something unsettling on camera.
I just realized this is like the perfect place to come and sit and smoke. Cause look at this. Sit right here. Hell yeah. This is my view. Y'all. A cigarette right now. I don't even smoke cigarettes. But it warm you up, you know? Felt like there was somebody behind me, but so this is as close as I'm going to get, but y'all can see it's like angled and it goes into the mountain. It doesn't look like it, but it's a little bit more deeper here. My feet would get wet, and these shoes, yeah, no, and it's cold. But yeah, I'm about to head out of here because my feelings been, I don't know, it don't feel right now. But yeah, I don't have service. No, this is the worst part about exploring here is when you get like that when you get the feeling that you're being watched or followed. You can't, it's a little bit of a ways to get back to where you came from. Over there.
As she kept walking, that uneasy feeling just kept getting worse until she finally decided it was time to get out of there. Even now, she has no idea who or what was out there with her that day. A Reddit user named Adrift to Oblivion was jogging on a trail at 4 a.m. when he suddenly stopped in fear. A strange figure was standing by the path, and its face looked scary and not human. As he got closer, he realized it was just a snowman. Even so, it still felt unsettling. It was standing there alone, the trail was quiet, and the low light made it look creepy. Seeing something like that in the middle of the night would scare anyone. A couple was hiking in a remote mountain area in southern Utah when the woman took a photo of her husband while he was taking pictures of the scenery. At first, the photo seemed normal, but later, when they looked through their pictures, they noticed a strange glowing shape in the image. The light wasn't visible at the time and only showed up afterward, which confused them. They shared the photo online, wondering if anyone else had seen something like it or if it could be something mysterious. After people took a closer look, most Reddit users agreed it was likely just a lens flare caused by sunlight reflecting inside the phone's camera lens. The video comes from Stig Floberghagen Photography, a YouTube channel run by Norwegian landscape photographer Stig Floberghagen. His content mixes wild camping and hiking with dark, moody landscape photography, usually filmed along rugged coastlines or up in the mountains. This one was shot on September 14th, 2025, somewhere along the Norwegian coastline.
Well, this was crazy. It was nice and warm weather, really. I predicted a lot of rain, but it suddenly fell down, and I wasn't ready to pitch my tent. And believe it or not, I forgot my pegs, pegs for the tent. So when I got there, it was suddenly pouring down, and I tried to pitch the tent as fast as I could, but much of the gear and clothes I was having with me was wet, the rucksack too. So really bad planning there. And I also, believe it or not, forgot my pegs to the tent. But I tried as good as I can to use these lines and attach them to the rocks. And I also collected some rocks to lay above these lines. So I hope it will stay in place. My rucksack.
When he arrived, Stig had to battle heavy rain just to get his tent up. Things got worse when he realized he'd forgotten his tent pegs, leaving him no choice but to use rocks to hold the shelter down. By then, a lot of his gear was already soaked, which was frustrating, but he pushed on anyway. With the tent barely secured by rocks and his rucksack weighing down the lines, he admitted he felt uneasy as the storm intensified. The whole setup felt unstable, like it could give out at any second.
Quite a noisy night, but I'm just glad I got the rain fly over the tent before everything got way too wet. So yeah, I think it's quite good. This quite cozy, I think. Anyway, see you in the morning. Well, I think it looks worse than it actually is, because I didn't have the stacks to the tent. It's way too loose, and it's...
All night long, powerful coastal winds pounded the tent. Without stakes to secure it, the material thrashed and snapped in the gusts, leaving him awake in a noisy, exhausting battle with the weather.
Right now, I managed to slip, fell, and dropped my camera and mic and filters all over the place. In the beginning it looks that a lot was damaged, but when I looked more at it, it seems right now that it's only the mics, the DJI Mic 2, that are damaged for good. I'm actually fine with that because I don't like them anyway. And the lens was stuck at first, but I think it's okay. It's the Nikon Z 14 to 30 millimeters. And the camera, luckily, I think it's fine, with one exception, and that it's the flap which is under the battery department. That's fell off, but the plastic part on that part looks to be fine. So I think I need some help on a service or repair to fix that damage. So all in all, not the worst damage, I think. I got to really learn.
Shaken, but relieved, Stig found the damage was minimal and only needed minor repairs. Despite everything, he still captured atmospheric images of the coastline. The experience reinforced the importance of preparation and respect for harsh conditions. After packing up, he continued north, still chasing the light. A Reddit user said that every night around 1 a.m., they saw the same figure standing outside their house. It never moved, and they couldn't tell what it was. They posted a blurry photo online to ask if anyone else had seen something like it. Most people replied that it was probably just a person, and suggested getting a clearer photo or going outside to check. The user disagreed, saying the figure looked too vague and didn't seem fully human. The only way to know for sure would be to go outside and see it up close. On June 6th, Maria visited Cuckoo's Nook with some friends after hearing people say the place felt creepy. Nothing strange happened while they were there, but a few days later when she looked through the photos on her phone, one picture stood out. On the right side, there was a blurry shape that didn't look like normal motion blur or light. The more she looked at it, the more it seemed to look like a woman. Some people even said it looked like a bride. So was it just a blur or something paranormal? Back in 2021, a backpacker was hiking near an abandoned quarry in the Balkans when he spotted some strange movement in the water. The video shows heavy splashing and a huge disturbance rippling across the water. Whatever caused it never fully appears on camera, but the strength and scale of the movement make it seem like something big and powerful was swimming just below the surface. With no other footage and no one else around to witness it, the cause of the disturbance is still a complete mystery. In 2017, Alex Honnold pulled off one of the most incredible climbs ever by free soloing El Capitan in Yosemite National Park. Free solo climbing means no ropes, no harness, and no safety gear at all. He climbed the freerider route, a nearly 2,900-foot straight-up granite wall, in just under 4 hours. El Capitan is known as one of the hardest and most technical rock faces in the world, requiring total focus, strength, and control. This was the first time anyone had ever climbed it solo without gear, and it's still seen as one of the greatest athletic achievements ever. In November, a Reddit user went on a ghost tour at Bodmin, an old jail in Cornwall, and took some photos. Later, while looking through them, they noticed a shape in the top right corner of one picture. Some people online said it looked like a girl with black hair wearing a white dress standing in a window. Others thought it was just a shadow caused by the building's lights. There was no clear answer, but since the jail is known for ghost stories, the photo made people wonder if it caught something unusual. Valerie runs an Instagram page called Journeyists, where she shares her solo trips to remote places and the scenery she sees. While on a multi-day horse trip to Songkha Lake in Kyrgyzstan, things took an unexpected turn. On the 5th morning, as she was packing up her camp in the jungle, a few local kids came over to say hi. Not long after, the calm morning changed. A local man showed up, offered to help with her horse, and invited her to tea at his yurt. At first, it seemed friendly, but when Valerie said no, his behavior changed.
Муж есть? Муж? Да, муж. А только один турист день. Да. А ночью куда спать? Сарколь, да? Ночью?
I don't know.
А ночью спать сарколь? Да нет. Где чатер? Одно, да, только где двое, одно.
Одна.
А только одна, да?
Yes.
Я дома есть чатер. Я чатер есть. А потом сарколь, хорошо?
I want to be alone.
А, секс, ну, понял, секс нет, нет. Понял?
No.
Эй, дома, давай.
You said sex, I said no.
Давайте чай поем, чай.
Leave me alone.
Хорошо.
I'm so glad I filmed this. It just shows the reality sometimes.
He started acting pushy and made her uncomfortable, asking questions that crossed the line. Since she was alone in the mountains, she began to feel truly unsafe. She left the area right away, and luckily, she was able to continue her trip through the mountains without any more problems. While hiking along the Grey Mare's Tail Trail in Scotland, this person took a few photos of the landscape. The pictures showed the river and the empty hills, but also something else. When they zoomed in, it looked like a white figure sitting on the rocks, with another bright shape next to it. The hiker said the area is very remote, with no trail leading there, and he hadn't seen anyone else around. Some people say it's just pareidolia, but others aren't so sure it's that simple. A couple chose a cave called the Throat of the Dead for their wedding photos. When they later looked through the pictures, they noticed something strange in the background, someone who shouldn't have been there. After doing some research, they learned that back in the 1800s, a man's body had been found inside the cave, sitting against a wall with torn fingernails and wide frozen eyes. Reports said he died from fear without trying to escape. Local legend claims that anyone who says vows of love inside the cave will see him. People call him the Watcher. He never moves or speaks. He just waits. Those who notice him are said to be chosen, and sometimes the witness disappears, whether it's a photographer or a newlywed. The figure only appeared in that single photo, not in any taken before or after. The couple didn't know the legend at the time, but about a year later, they both started having intense nightmares, and they say life was never the same after that photo. The video comes from Beth's Midlife Adventure, a solo van life and adventure channel run by Beth Atencio. She travels full-time around the US in her van, often with her cat, exploring nature, hiking trails, and more remote wilderness areas. This one takes place on March 13th, 2025 in the Blood Mountain Wilderness.
I've been down in the south, down in Louisiana for too long. These Appalachian Mountains are getting me out of breath here. The elevation. Ugh. I'm used to the Sierra Nevadas on the west coast, so this is nothing, but it feels like a lot right now. So sad. Do you ever hold your breath on the trail when you pass by people so they don't hear how loud, not a breath you are? I do that. I hold my breath and pretend I'm not.
Beth had been camped for a few days deep in the Georgia woods, parked next to a quiet creek and wrapped in trees. It felt calm and secure. Just her cat, and the sounds of nature. But the peace didn't stick around.
So something crazy kind of happened today. I was actually sitting in my van. I am pretty deep in the Georgia woods. I'm doing something called dispersed camping out in a wildlife management area where you're allowed to park, like it's public land, certain spots in the woods, and you can find one that's open and camp there legally. So I've been out here for a couple days. I've just been all by myself out here. I'm in this area called Blood Mountain. This car parks behind me and a guy gets out. He literally walks into my campsite, like goes straight up to the creek. And I notice he has a tripod and a camera. I'm like, why is he taking photos right in my campsite?
Out of nowhere, a vehicle rolled up behind her van. Two men stepped out and walked straight into her campsite without saying a word. And one of them even started setting up a tripod by the creek, acting like the spot belonged to them.
I see him walk up to my front window where Apollo is sitting in the front seat. And he is looking in the window, waving at Apollo, talking to him. And I'm like, I am right here. I'm right here working. He's right there in my window. It was so uncomfortable. I'm like, okay, he just saw the cat. He's going to move on. But no. Then he starts looking into my side window right here, my sliding door window. There's all this wide open space. Like, were they trying to intimidate me? Because if that's the case, it was working. He comes up to the foot of my bed where my window is by my feet and is looking into the window into my van. I went into fight or flight mode. And guys, I chose fight. Why did I choose fight? And I did something I should not have done. I opened my door. Hindsight, stupidest thing ever. But I went in there like, excuse me, can I help you? No, I cannot help them. No, why did I open my door? I am not gonna take on two grown men by myself. That's just not gonna happen. But that was my instinct. I'm disappointed in myself.
The second man came straight up to her van, waved at her cat through the windshield, and then leaned in close to the side window, only a few feet from where Beth was sitting. It was unsettling, and her peaceful campsite no longer felt private. Feeling boxed in, Beth opened the door to ask what they wanted. They casually claimed they were just interested in van conversions, but it didn't ease her nerves. She shut the door and locked it right away.
They know nobody else is around. It's not even privacy, it's just respect that maybe you would be making somebody else uncomfortable, and you should announce yourself and talk to them, not just look in someone's windows. Now, if I was sitting out in my campground and they were coming by and they're like, hey, is that a van conversion? And I was like, yeah, would you like to take a look? And I invited you into my area. That's totally different. I don't know if that's just different down here or if that's maybe from where I'm from, that's not okay. I made sure my bear spray is right here where I keep it at my bed. I did learn you're actually not allowed to spray things like wasp spray in certain states. You can actually get in trouble for that with something called chemical assault. And bear spray, you have to know what the rules are in the state that you're traveling in. But I do have mace and pepper spray, and those you can legally use if needed. That was the first time in 3 years that I've had somebody actually make me feel that uncomfortable where they've been...
That night, the tension didn't fade. Even after the men were gone, the fact that they knew she was alone stayed on her mind. Later, Beth said the experience was a wake-up call and a reminder to always be extra careful when camping solo. TikToker Georgie Guju shared a photo that was taken when she was 9 years old during a visit to an old building. She said she doesn't believe in paranormal stuff, but the picture still makes her uncomfortable. It was dark and she was holding a flashlight. The light hit something and caused a bright glare. Inside that glare, two shapes appeared that looked like eyes. Some people think it was just a light trick or the brain seeing patterns. Others think something else might have been there with her that night. The photo isn't clear and no one really knows what caused it. On May 4th, 2017, 23-year-old Madeline Connolly went hiking in the Great Bear Wilderness near Glacier National Park while visiting her uncle. She planned a short hike with her dog, Mogi, but left without food, gear, or a map. Her car was later found at the trailhead with all her supplies still inside. Madeline took a wrong turn and wandered deeper into the wilderness, likely confused by the snow and rough terrain, and realized she was lost after nightfall. A large search effort began using helicopters, ground teams, horses, dogs, and trackers, and even bear tracks were found near her footprints. She survived 6 days in freezing conditions by drinking stream water, melting snow, sleeping under trees, and moving carefully to save energy. On May 10th, searchers found her alive near a creek about 5 miles from her car. She wasn't seriously injured, her dog was fine, and both were rescued by helicopter and safely reunited with her family. Laura from Mexico was recording a tree that had caught on fire after being struck by lightning.
Pero no está quemada, está intacta.
Esta tampoco se mueve. Esta sentada ahí.
Mira, ahí está sentada. Tenía tantos años que no veía algo así, fíjate. Hasta ahorita que los niños lo vieron.
While she was filming, she noticed a shape forming in the flames. It looked like a person standing inside the burning branches. Some people later said it could be a witch, while others thought it was just an illusion. No one could really agree on what it was, but many said it looked a little too human. Someone took a photo at a bar on a winter evening. At first, it looked normal, but later, they noticed a pale face behind one of the women. The face seemed to have eyes, a nose, and a mouth, but it didn't look like a real person. They looked around the bar to see if anyone matched it, but no one did. Most people think it was just motion blur from someone walking by, and that's likely the case. Still, it looks pretty creepy. The photo was taken on February 9th, 2009, while he was photographing a quiet churchyard. When he later looked at the pictures on his computer, one of them stood out. There was a faint, human-shaped figure sitting on the front steps. Even though he clearly remembered no one being there at the time, whatever appeared in the photo, he didn't see it when he took the picture. The Myrtles Plantation in Louisiana is often called haunted because of its long and dark history tied to slavery. Many of the stories focus on an enslaved girl who was badly mistreated. According to local legends, she later caused the deaths of the family who enslaved her and never left the property after she died. Today, the plantation is open for tours and people visit the house and grounds all year round. Some visitors say they've caught strange figures in their photos, sometimes showing small child-sized shapes in the background, even though no children were around at the time. Would you be brave enough to visit? The person who owns this photo says they've lived in a house they think is haunted for over 10 years. One winter day, a motion sensor camera caught something strange on the stairs. The picture shows a blurry human-shaped figure going down the steps. Some people think it looks like two children, while others say it could just be a dog walking downstairs. But the owner says the house was empty when the photo was taken. Whatever it was, the image only made the mystery around the house feel even stronger. Two friends took a selfie inside their truck one night. Later, when they looked through the photos, they noticed something creepy. A strange face showed up behind them. They were sure no one else was there. They were in the middle of nowhere, and it was completely dark outside. To this day, they can't explain it. Was it an animal? A ghost? Whatever it was, the image still freaks them out. One morning, residents stepped outside and were surprised to see a creepy ice formation that had formed overnight because of the cold. People joked online, saying the weather was so cold it could freeze a ghost. No one knew why the ice formed that shape. Most believed it was normal, but a few people said it honestly scared them. On October 26, 2023, Scott from the YouTube channel Scott Fish went out expecting a normal, laid-back day of pier fishing. His videos are usually all about chill shoreline fishing, marine life, and learning moments by the water. But somewhere along the pier, the vibe shifted. What started off routine quickly turned tense and unpredictable, and the real danger ended up coming not from the ocean, but from a sudden run-in with another person.
What do you have? We don't have our net with us, otherwise I'd help you.
Oh man, it seems like now the kingfish, but we're trying to catch the blackfish with the.
What pound test do you have on there? You might want to lock up.
You know, we just like.
What pound is on here? What's the leader? What's the mono?
It's from 35.
Lock it up. Lock it tight. This way. It's gonna go under the pier and you're gonna lose it.
They're like, it's not a kingfish, you know.
It's not. It's not a kingfish.
What's that, mate? Stingray.
Bang. Is it big? I want to see it. Dude, it is huge. He's gotta be foul hooked, right? Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's hooked
on the wing.
Holy. How can he eat the jigs?
He's foul hooked. He's foul hooked.
Yeah, we use the jigs. Oh man.
Oh yeah, then he hasn't.
I can come to the beach.
Yeah, find it from the beach.
Maybe you can take the.
I can help you guys land it. We a lot of big.
Cool, man.
The biggest stinger I have ever seen.
Yeah, that thing's big.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can definitely help you guys land it, but
You're gonna jump in the water with that?
no, we're gonna beach it.
Oh my god, he's.
Yeah, I don't know how he's gaining on him. Yeah, it's you guys are probably not gonna land it. To be honest, it's like it's not gonna come up.
But we cannot cut the line. Hooks is still on his body.
You said 35 pound on the leader, right?
Yeah, but the knots shouldn't be good.
Oh, okay.
I just use that, normally for the like.
Jackson, you want to grab that line for me? Jackson, it's 35. You want me to do that? Here.
Stinger, eagle ray.
Things ramp up when a big southern eagle ray gets accidentally hooked through its fin. It's strong, clearly stressed, and really hard to deal with from the pier. Scott and a few others try to be careful, knowing how dangerous the ray's long, venomous barb can be if it gets too close. While they're figuring out what to do next, a woman suddenly steps into the water and joins the scene.
You need to cut it.
Right, no, we're gonna hey, watch out with that barb.
Well,
just be hey, please get away from the stingray. Like I'm serious, please get away from it. Okay.
You won't bring it in with this.
Yeah, we're gonna cut it, but please stay away from the ray. These are these are extremely dangerous. Please stop touching the line.
Yeah,
please stop touching the line.
But I'm not going to get your hook back because it's too dangerous.
Right. Okay.
So you just need to cut this down there.
Okay, I understand, but please get out of the water.
No, I won't get out of the water. Do you have a knife? Anyone got a pen knife?
No, please get away from the ray.
You have to have a pen knife.
Oh my god, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Bro, she can't bring her dogs near this thing either. That is a hazard. Okay, so southern eagle ray, right here. We're gonna try to get the hook out, but we have a lady that says we have to.
She demands that the line be cut immediately, getting louder as the tension builds. Despite being warned about the risk, she stays close to the ray, with her dogs still in the water nearby. With people talking over each other and no one clearly in charge, the situation quickly spirals into confusion.
I got it. Ma'am, please get away from the ray. This line, hey, this line is about to snap off. Please stay away from the ray. Ma'am.
You've got to cut.
This will snap. This will snap. Please stay away from the ray.
You just need to do nothing until your friend comes.
Ridiculous. Actually ridiculous.
I'm a marine biologist. You don't need to tell me that. But you shouldn't, if the ranger catches you, it's $500.
This is not illegal. It is foul hooked on a jig, and it was a complete accident. You can't control what bites you over there. Guys, I'm sorry about that. That is ridiculous. That was not your fault. You foul hooked it. It happens.
Sorry about that.
No. That's not your guys' fault at all. Gee, that is ridiculous. I'm sorry you have to deal with that fault. It's an accident. It happens. But that's a sick fish. That is so sick. And like that's a once in a lifetime. Hopefully you got good pictures.
Alright. Oh, my bad.
It's not your fault at all. Keep enjoying the fishing. Don't let them ruin your vibe. That was an awesome fish. That was sick. Oh, I have a lot of experience with those, actually.
Whoa.
It's not illegal at all.
Alright,
Yeah.
let's take that back. Alright, good luck, bud.
Yeah, guys. Good luck. Have a good one. Adios.
Scott tries to calm things down, explaining the dangers and asking everyone to back off. At this point, it's not just about the fish anymore, but what could happen if the ray suddenly lashes out. When it's clear the situation isn't settling, Scott makes the tough call to snap the line on purpose, ending it before things turn into something much worse. On September 1st, 2025, during a busy holiday weekend on the Cumberland River, Bradley from the YouTube channel Cast and Trail was filming what was supposed to be a normal river fishing trip. His content is usually about straightforward fishing days, drifting deep channels, and targeting catfish with bait. The water was calm, and the river felt alive. But on holiday weekends, heavy boat traffic is always part of the risk.
Afternoon. Yeah, it's just after 12, so got out around 11, took 30 minutes to net some bait, 15-minute boat ride, just got the baits in the water. So it's gonna be a good day. Holiday weekend, so being a Friday, I expect a lot of people to be out. I mean, we've seen a little bit of traffic, but it hadn't been that crazy, thankfully. So with that said, baits are in the water. We're gonna run this stretch, probably about half a mile. Yeah, it's probably about half a mile. And then we're gonna pull up and go somewhere else if we don't run into, into a bunch of them. I'd like to hook into one or two, and then I'd probably fish this stretch again or keep going, because it's possible, they're moving up river, down river along this channel ledge and run into some of them. So if we hit one or two, if we hit one, we're gonna keep going, because that tells me there's at least something in the area. That's a bait, baby. That right there, that's a bait. That is big old gizzard shad. Look at that thing. He's at least all of 12 inches or more. What's this thing say? Yeah, he's like 13 inches. That thing's huge. Hopefully he ain't no record, because I'm about to cut him up. All right, y'all. There we go. Big old gizzard shad head. That was like a 13-inch gizzard shad. Fat old thing. Probably over a pound, pound and a half. Floats, rattle, down to a 4-ounce dragging weight. This bad boy is gonna go to our right, which is the port side. And we'll slap a board on that thing and be good to go. This is not my bait cooler. So what I'm gonna do is, since we're just kind of drifting slowly here, I'm gonna cover up our cut bait with some ice, try to keep it a little fresher while it's kind of baking in the sun. I need to probably get like a small bait cooler on here and just kind of mount it or keep it maybe somewhere. Just when you cut the bait up, put some ice in there and keep it fresher for a little.
The day kicked off like any other. They netted bait, set their lines, and let the boat drift along a deep channel nearly 50 feet down. Fish bit on and off, mostly small channels with a steady blue mixed in. Nothing felt out of the ordinary until the river traffic started closing in.
There he is. Dang, he's yanking now. Taking my time again with him. We're in some deeper water. What are we in, 40? I can't even see that thing. We're in 48 now. There's still fish on the bottom, so we're in a good spot. May have to freshen our baits up on all of them though, because not getting a lot of hits. Oh my gosh, did he come off? Or is he coming to the boat? Oh, lost him. Oh my gosh, but that's okay if this one's taken off. I think we missed that one too. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. That guy couldn't have been any closer. Literally going over my board, almost. Like, what in the absolute hell is that? Some people should not have boats. Oh, that's a fish. Come on, out of there. Oh my God, I got it wedged in here a little odd. I didn't see the takedown. I don't know if you guys did or not, but hot dog, come on. I'm trying to keep him from going back behind that other one. He's still pulling. This feels decent.
A boat came through way closer than it should have, cutting straight across their drift. For a split second, it looked like it was about to run right over one of the planer boards. There was no warning and no time to react, just inches between the boat and the line. It passed without hitting anything, but after that, the drift didn't feel laid back anymore.
Again, just taking my time with them. Ain't no sense in horsing them in. It's more fun to take your time anyways with these fish. Let them have a fighting chance, you know, if they break off or spit the hook, whatever. That's part of fishing. You know, that's the mystery of it, you know. The allure, the mystery, it's part of why I love it. I like to give them a chance, make it sporty. And then of course, taking care of their, you know, their safety and their health by bringing them up slower, letting them get that air out of their air bladder so they don't end up with barotrauma and die on us, you know. Don't want to do that to especially good fish. Oh my gosh, these fish are just, they're tricking me today. These channels are fighting. Oh, he did tangle our line. That's part of why that felt weird. He done got us all kinds of wrapped and tangled, so that's gonna be fun to sort out. I'll get some of that out and let it run. Dang channel, I mean, he's probably the biggest channel of the day, but what happened was we got a little bit tangled here, huh? That's what you did to me. I gotta see if I can't undo this really quick, buddy, because gonna make getting you out a lot easier. Figure out which way this line is twisted. All right, well, I'm gonna flip him in. He's our biggest channel of the day. Come here, dude. Get you out real quick, because I gotta deal with this mess you done gave me. What'd you do all that for? Oh, I said channel, but that's a blue, ain't it? Yeah. Dang, I don't know. His color's off, but I think it's a blue. All right. Yeah, we'll go blue. Yep. All right. Nothing giant. Just a little 4 pounder probably. All right, now we got to deal with this crap here that we got into. I hope it ain't knotted. That's the problem I got. That it's so twisted. Might not be much saving it.
They kept fishing, but the flow was gone. Lines tangled, boards got dragged back toward the boat, and fish hit only to disappear. Control slipped away in small, quiet moments until the drift finally ended. Later, some viewers pointed out that the real danger that day wasn't under the water. It was above it, a reminder that on crowded rivers, other boats can be the biggest risk. Uncharted Alberta is a Canadian urbex channel that explores abandoned schools, ghost towns, and rundown buildings across rural Alberta. Their style is calm and low-key, letting the atmosphere speak for itself rather than forcing scares. On November 25th, 2025, they're exploring an abandoned school in a remote town in Canada.
Probably shouldn't be touching this. Blue, do your thing.
Told you. Gloves.
I don't want to get like mega rabies.
This looks like math. Yeah, mathematics. Oh, this one has a copyright date. Sick.
What year?
The pages are damp. Oh, the pages are so fragile too. Copyright 1939. I knew this one was old.
Alright, I'm gonna go start checking out other rooms.
There's stairs over there.
Our time here is pretty limited, so. Oh man, we gotta be really careful.
Little stairs.
Bad vibes, man. What the hell happened here, man? Jeez. People are such assholes, man.
Oh, I know, right?
Like, holy. Like, what the hell were you guys doing? Oh. place is freaking creepy.
They move down long hallways filled with books left untouched for decades. Desks are caved in with dust, and old furniture is rotting into the floor. Their flashlights skim over peeling paint and flimsy curtains, creating pockets of darkness where the light doesn't reach. One of them keeps stopping, feeling like something is right behind them. Real or imagined, the unease grows as they near the gym wing, the darkest area of the school.
I feel like I'm being followed.
Yeah. I felt something in that room with the books. It's okay. I got your back. Let's go see if they got chalkboard or chalk on the chalkboard. Leave a little message. Whoa. Old school computers, man.
With the hospital where we found a manual from 1980.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a lot of kids were in here. Oh, God. Trying
Turn off your flashlight for a second.
to walk in here is just a freaking nightmare.
My flashlight is doing this weird flickering thing.
What was it?
Yeah.
Weird.
As soon as I pointed in that room.
Really?
Just past the book room, faint shuffling sounds drift back down the hallway. They can't tell where it's coming from. Each time they turn around, the corridor feels unnaturally quiet, like someone just slipped out of sight. Their flashlights hesitate at doorways, and the sense that they're being followed becomes hard to shake.
I don't like this.
That's it, did it?
Yeah. Okay. I just want to quickly check this room and then we'll work our way that way. Yeah, scrappers were here. Oh man, I don't like this place.
Inside the gym, faint whistling echoes from somewhere up near the rafters. Their flashlights don't quite reach the upper walls, where the shadows seem thicker, almost smoky. They stop and listen as the whistles keep coming, short, sharp, and completely out of place in an abandoned building.
Hello? Okay, watch your step, bud. This is no bueno.
The f was that?
Sounded like one of those old-fashioned phones.
Orbs start to appear throughout the gym, moving slowly, almost on purpose. One suddenly shoots forward and brushes across an explorer's face, flashing light in the darkness. The air feels heavy and charged, like the room is aware of them, and every step toward the exit feels like something is watching from above.
I will say this, though. I definitely feel really disoriented in here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know which way is which. It'd be really easy to get lost in here. It's okay, I remember. Don't worry. Oh,
In one of the final classrooms, an orb slips between shelves and desks. For a split second, both explorers spot a still figure in the far corner. The sense of a presence follows them out the door, and they leave in silence until the school is well behind them. The building doesn't feel empty. It feels aware, like it was watching them as closely as they watched it. Whistles, drifting orbs, flickering lights, and moving shadows turned the decaying school into a place that seemed to respond to them. They leave shaken, with the uneasy feeling that abandoned places don't always stay quiet. Sometimes they're watching back. On November 2nd, 2025, Chris, better known as Urbex Hill, posted a video that was very different from his usual content. He's known for exploring abandoned places and uncovering forgotten items, but this time the tone was much heavier. The video showed his growing frustration and anger after he came across two homeless people living inside the building. Their situation, shaped by addiction and poverty, clearly affected him. At first, everything felt routine. Chris was exploring an old rundown factory in Cleveland, Ohio, looking through old papers and belongings left behind. Then the quiet was suddenly broken when two voices echoed through the hallway.
Here's the directory. Actually, looks like a lot of these stores have a lot left inside. Whoa. Look at all the, this was a Nike store. Yeah. Imagine there's shoes left, guys. Look at, oh, holy cow. Wow. Here too, I'm pretty sure. Somebody just stole everything. That's actually insane. Think about like how much used to be here when it was abandoned even. It's crazy. Society is just moving, and inside here, society has just completely stopped.
For a moment, he saw the two homeless people, and fear immediately set in. He quickly hid his camera, aware of the risk of being noticed. His breathing sped up, caught between fear for his safety and sympathy for their situation.
So this place is active right there. We can't let them see us. People have been caught right here just because that place is still open. If we walk this way, we'll be seen. And the power's on here, most of this area, because that Planet Fitness or whatever. You can see this probably didn't close too long ago. A lot of these plants are still alive and well. So this was when this part of the mall went abandoned and the main part was still in use.
Chris chose to leave the area where he'd seen them, but he didn't want to walk away without doing anything. He went back to the spot where he first saw them, hoping to do something small but meaningful.
You guys can't really see it. There's a guard directly out the window.
This anchor store had an armed gang of scrappers in the other room.
We're taking pictures.
Sorry. We thought it was a gang scrapper. I looked and he had But then I looked again, and it looks like he had a badge.
He's following us.
After hearing horror stories of what the security guards would do, we were let off pretty easy.
No, he had a vest.
We were followed all the way out, likely for him to find an entrance and seal it. We kept a lot of distance though, and I'm glad we did.
He found what looked like the spot they were staying, surrounded by signs of how rough things were. The conditions were depressing, but he still chose to help by leaving some money before heading out. He assumed no one would be there overnight and planned to come back and keep exploring. When he returned, the place immediately felt wrong. There was new graffiti, and the furniture looked recently moved. Then he heard faint voices that slowly got louder and closer, putting him on edge. Deeper inside, he found a room full of trash with 2 makeshift beds and a worn blanket, making it clear they were living there. As the voices got closer, his anxiety spiked, and he decided it was time to leave before things got worse. The creator behind the YouTube channel, Sasquatch Theory, spends his time exploring remote areas, searching for signs of wildlife and possible cryptids. He often goes to places most people avoid to document strange activity. On a recent trip to a friend's isolated farm in Missouri, he went in with a simple plan: upgrade a game camera before a longer trip focused on tracking deer and Sasquatch. He felt that staying longer in such an active area might finally give him real evidence. But what happened there quickly took an unexpected turn.
Right, in this video I'm heading down to the killing fields to visit David, and it's been a little while since I've been down there, and it's actually been too long, but today I want to set up the antenna on the Spartan game camera. This resolves the issue, and I just want to go out there and scout things out because I plan on going out there for about 2 weeks here in the near future to do some rifle hunting and Sasquatching at the same time. I feel like I will be
Before even meeting up with his friend, he launched his thermal drone, immediately feeling something off about the property. A heavy, dark energy he didn't usually experience. The place already had a reputation for dead deer, missing cattle, and unexplained glowing orbs. It was also the same area where he'd once heard a deep guttural growl come out of the old forest.
Certainly a dark feeling that overcomes me when I visit the fields at the current river area in Missouri, and I don't get this feeling in many forests that I visit in Missouri. There's just this energy to it, and you can feel the hairs on your arms and on the back of your neck stand up, but you can look at the land. David and I have been researching this property for many years now, and we continually find deer and missing cattle on the property. David claims that something picked up one of his cows and dragged it down into the holler, and that's exactly where the orbs are coming from and a lot of the activity that we experienced on one of my earlier videos. I was researching back there by the conservation area. I was setting up trail cameras, and I heard this deep guttural growl.
After checking the area, he went to look for his friend, but something felt off. David's vehicles were there, yet he couldn't find him anywhere, even after waiting around for a while. Walking the quiet paths alone, the unease started to set in. Eventually, he did find David, who shared disturbing news. Another animal had been found mutilated on the property, with no clear cause. That discovery shifted the trip from simple prep work to something much darker.
Nobody's hunting that. One of the most recent reports from David is he saw another ball of light behind the barn, which he's seen them before back there, and he found a mutilated deer. He's not sure that, just another mystery on the farm, but we think we have a pretty good idea of what deer. What were you doing when you found the deer?
We were just driving around.
Okay. But you said it looked like something was torn apart?
Oh, it was torn apart. There was blood. There's blood everywhere.
See, I interviewed a guy from Iowa yesterday, and that's what he said. He found a deer that was torn apart, and he said it looked like the legs were ripped off and not torn up by anything. All right, looks like something tore apart this deer.
The deer had clearly been attacked violently. Blood was everywhere. Its legs looked torn off, and pieces of the animal were scattered around. A clear drag mark ran through the brush, showing it hadn't gone down without a struggle.
Poor little thing. Yeah, it looks like something ripped the legs off. You see like the drag mark? See that line?
What made it worse was the location. This was the same area where they'd seen strange glowing orbs before, and where one of David's cows had disappeared and later turned up deep in the hollow. The whole situation was starting to feel like more than just an animal attack. It got even stranger when David took him to a nearby spot across the river, where a previous guest had once fired at an unknown creature that charged him in the dark.
What happened out here?
They're building these
They're
cabins.
building cabins.
But as far as the Squatch activity?
Oh, this is where that guy that you interviewed there at the house,
Where he had his experience.
He was out here deer hunting. And
he's the one that
yeah, he was
found
camping.
a piece of bone.
He doesn't know what it was, so it could have been any sort of cryptid. But
That same area had an even darker past. Years earlier, a deer hunter had vanished there without a trace, and his body was only found much later. It was becoming clear that the whole region had a long history of unexplained events.
Bob's from Iowa.
well, this is where that guy went missing. On David Plyce talked about it.
Okay.
During the deer season, he went missing, and they ended up finding his body.
When a strong storm moved in, he had no choice but to end the trip early. The big questions were left unanswered. What could tear apart a deer or move a full-grown cow? Whether the strange lights were connected, and what really happened to the hunter who disappeared in those woods. Some mysteries were left unresolved. Tatiana Gordieva runs a bushcraft and hiking channel centered on wilderness living, remote hut stays, and immersive time in nature. Her content focuses on real environmental challenges, wildlife awareness, and what it's actually like spending long periods alone in remote forests. This takes place on December 21st, 2025, in a secluded forest location.
Да, изба, конечно. А вот это поработал медведь. Там медведь. Что значит? 8, да.
After 24 hours of non-stop rain, they reach a small forest hut meant for an overnight stay and maintenance. Inside, the floor is flooded and most of their gear is damp. The work they planned, like fixing the stove and organizing supplies, becomes hard to do with the conditions. Outside, the paths have turned into streams. Visibility drops as night sets in, and with the rain still coming down, they adjust their plans and get ready to stay inside the shelter.
Привет, изба. О, потоп. В чем конкретно потоп? Там даже которого я не ожидала. Прямо синий. Да. Потоп. В избе потоп. Да. Что и стоило ожидать, учитывая, какие воды по дороге были.
While looking around the hut, they spot obvious signs of animal activity. Rocks, roots, and soil have been torn up, pointing to recent foraging by something large.
Конечно, не вдохновляет на ночевку. Бедная печь. Просто очень много воды. Глубокой воды. Не маленькой воды. Ну, изба такая прикольная.
Итак, хотели мы переночевать в этой избе, но вода... Не просто переночевать, хотели переночевать и завтра поработать. Тут Алина хотела печь доработать, что там еще поделать. Дел много в избе всегда. Вот, но вот мы сегодня принесли много всего нового для избы. Заброску такую сделали небольшую. Но, увы...
From a safe distance, they briefly spot two bears moving through the forest on opposite sides of the hut. The bears don't seem interested in the shelter and stay focused on their surroundings. The group remains inside, staying quiet and still, while the animals pass through on their own.
Печь не растопить и спать вот над водой в сырости, ну такое себе, конечно. Поэтому пойдем дальше, причем уже прилично поздно, времени уже прям очень прилично. Ой, ну, придется идти. Мы предполагали, что будет вода, возможно вода, потому что мы шли по дороге, и везде вода просто потоками. И сутки шел дождь, сильнейший ливень.
Once things quiet down outside, the group sticks to low-key tasks in the hut, like cooking and noting nearby forest mushrooms. Even though the bears are gone, they stay alert and keep movement to a minimum. They spend the night drying their clothes and boots and making a simple meal. By morning, fresh animal signs show up around the hut, confirming wildlife regularly passes through. It's a reminder of how important patience, respect, and awareness are in remote areas. In July 2025, a YouTuber named Dulcie uploaded a video called I Explored the Most Haunted Place in Guadalajara to her channel, Dulcie Terror. In the video, she explored an abandoned, reportedly haunted school in Guadalajara, Mexico. As she entered, she heard faint noises coming from the upper floors, but assumed it was just the wind and kept going. After finishing the lower levels, she headed upstairs, and while climbing the stairs, she suddenly came across something deeply unsettling.
En la escuela abandonada donde no me dejaron terminar la exploración, verlo y se pasen a este enseguida, ya que el video anterior tuvo muy buena aceptación y muchas vistas. Estoy de regreso con unos pisos arriba. Entonces pues vamos, si quieren, a la siguiente de arriba. Ya se empezaron a escuchar acá ruidos, amigos. Se escucha como láminas, amigos. Okay. Aquí ya estamos en el cuarto piso. Me siento tranquila de que pues ya estoy entrando al cuarto piso y todo bien hasta el momento. Okay. Voy a terminar de recorrer este pasillo, chicos. La puerta crujió, se los juro. Ok, ahorita estoy en otro salón. Voy a terminar de recorrer este piso. ¡Ay! Se los juro que yo no cerré, amigos.
As soon as she stepped out of the room, the door in front of her suddenly moved and closed on its own. Startled, Dulce ran away, trying to understand what she had just seen. She stayed near the stairs for a few minutes, confused and shaken, and just as she was trying to explain it away, she encountered something else.
Sentí muchos escalofríos porque me dieron como que la bienvenida a que me saliera, o sea, literal. Creo que voy a respirar un poquito porque sí me tensioné. O sea, literal, en cuanto salí, créanme que se me hizo muy extraño porque pasó eso justamente allá. Estoy muy nerviosa. Escucho algo. chicos, ahorita para yo estar en la planta baja y ver si se llega a escuchar algo. Okay. Ya voy en el segundo piso y ahorita voy bajando. Les juro, no se deja de escuchar muchísimos ruidos. Es horrible porque sientes que están adelante de ti, luego que están atrás de ti.
After hearing voices and distant noises throughout the building, Dulcie ran downstairs. Convinced someone else was inside, she tried using an app on her phone to test for anything unusual, but the results weren't conclusive. She continued exploring for about 10 more minutes, hearing faint sounds she couldn't clearly identify before deciding to leave. She made it out without any further incidents, and the cause of the voices and the door closing on its own was never confirmed, leaving it unclear whether what she experienced was paranormal or something else entirely. The creator of the abandoned camper went on what she expected to be a quiet stealth camping trip in an abandoned cemetery from the 1800s. It was overgrown and forgotten, and she was looking forward to some time alone. At first, everything felt calm. She found a hidden spot in the bushes, set up camp, and enjoyed the silence, even though it felt a little too quiet. She brushed off the uneasy feeling and decided to walk through the cemetery, filming the old, weathered gravestones. That didn't last long. While she was walking around, she started hearing noises, branches snapping, faint voices, and movement in the brush. What started subtly quickly sounded human. Her instincts kicked in, telling her she wasn't alone, and the feeling was unsettling. She kept thinking no one should be around an abandoned cemetery at dusk, especially somewhere that remote, but the noises only got clearer. She stopped, felt the hairs on her neck stand up, and looked back. Nothing there. She tried to blame the wind, but the dread wouldn't go away. Hoping to shake it off, she headed back toward her camp. As she got close to the clearing, she saw a group of kids in the distance. They weren't right there, but close enough to notice. At first, she assumed they were harmless, but the way they just stood there, barely moving, made her wonder if they were watching her.
Okay, so that dog kind of ruined it. Not ruined it, I shouldn't say that. The dog barking, I didn't want to disturb anybody, especially since I'm not supposed to be here. So I think I'll finish my exploring tomorrow morning, and because there seems to be still a lot of stuff here.
It started to feel like she was being followed. She looked back again, and they seemed gone. At least she thought so. Her skin prickled as she picked up her pace, just wanting to get back to camp and calm down. Then the screaming started.
Keep this recording, just in case. But I'm also gonna stop and find out what they're doing, if they're actually watching me or not. Well, I can see them. I just don't want them to see where I'm going.
When she got back to her campsite, she thought being in a familiar spot would calm her down, but it only made the tension worse. She lit a fire to cook something simple, hoping the warmth would help her relax. But as soon as the flames came up, the mood shifted.
I just had to put out the fire because there are people walking around back here. They don't have headlamps on, but like I said in my last video, I do not like being around people in the middle of a forest, especially when it's dark out. So I might pack up and get out of here.
Soft, unmistakable footsteps moved through the trees behind her, followed by quiet whispering just beyond the firelight. It didn't sound like kids anymore. It felt deliberate, like whoever was out there knew exactly where she was. She immediately put the fire out, hands shaking as she grabbed her gear and packed up in silence. Without looking back, she slipped out of the cemetery as quietly as she could, only stopping once she was safely away. She made it out unharmed, but the thought of what might have happened if she'd stayed, or what could have stepped out of the darkness, never left her. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.